There's a robot in Shanghai whose skin runs between 90 and 97 degrees Fahrenheit. Not warm-ish, actual human body temperature, engineered in on purpose. So when you take her hand, you don't get that cold plastic flinch every other humanoid gives you. The reaction has split cleanly between people calling it the most impressive build of the year and people who watched 4 seconds of footage and felt their skin crawl. She's called Moya, from Droid Up, officially Shanghai Realbotix, unveiled at Jiangguan Robotics Valley, which has quietly become the beating heart of China's humanoid race. The money matters here, because it colors everything. Droid Up is about 2 years old, has raised $28.5 million total, and has already burned close to half of it on payroll and recruitment bonuses for 32 employees. Their main venture finance partner is worth around $50 million. Small team, very loud statement, very finite runway. The hardware is genuinely interesting though. Moya is 5.5 feet tall, roughly 70 pounds, on a platform called Walker 3, the same skeleton that took an earlier Droid Up robot to third in the world's first humanoid half marathon. She isn't tuned for endurance, she's tuned to sit across a table and make you forget what she is. Behind each eye is a working camera, and they don't just track movement, they read your face and mirror it back. She smiles, nods, narrows her eyes like she's following you. Under the silicone, there's padding mimicking human fat and muscle around a structure resembling a rib cage. And recently, they rebuilt the internals around an artificial spine instead of rigid joints, so the torso twists and bends the way a real spine distributes force. That's the tell, not a launch video cosmetic, but a company iterating towards something more convincingly alive. The headline claim is 92% gait accuracy against a natural human walk. That's Droid Up's own number, verified independently nowhere, so hold it loosely. In the footage, it does look less robotic than most, deliberate, careful, weighted. But r/singularity tore into it. The top comment called it a natural geriatric gait, with people noting the word natural was doing enormous heavy lifting. One user walked the financials. Under 15 million left for development, a leadership team with 0 successful businesses behind them, an investor worth 50 million. The promo video didn't help. That orange juice scene is obviously cut to hide what the hands can and can't do, and plenty of people clocked that those hands look like wooden sticks. The YouTube review commentary agreed. Moderately realistic at best. Rigid, hard, proportions that don't resolve as human. Watch the live event video from a few months back instead, where actual attendees walked up to Moya, touched her, talked to her. Unscripted beats and edited demo reel every time. She's priced at $173,000, aimed at hospitals, elder care facilities, banks, museums, train stations, anywhere a human used to greet you, guide you, or sit with you. Which explains the juice scene, a deliberate elder care pitch, pouring a glass for an elderly woman. First batch is around 50 units, wider release later this year, plus a customizable version with configurable appearances, some transparently aimed at companionship rather than customer service. That's where it gets complicated, because Droid Up's own CEO is raising the flag. Li Qingdu told Yikai that the ethics of adult emotional companionship get messy fast for anyone building bionic robots. Large language models made companionship far easier to ship than chores. Folding laundry is still hard. Holding a conversation isn't, so commercial gravity pulls everyone that way, whether or not the ethics are settled. Industrial deployment is a different beast, he says, since those buyers weigh return on investment and little else. Droid Up claims B2B traction in high-end reception, healthcare companionship, education, and IP entertainment with over 1,000 orders booked. Regulators saw it coming. On July 15th, China's interim measures for the management of anthropomorphic AI interactive services took effect, the world's first national framework written specifically for AI and virtual companions. The obvious bans are there: obscene content, gambling, violence, incitement to crime, rumors, defamation. The interesting clauses are psychological, nothing encouraging or implying self-harm, verbally abusing users, damaging their dignity, or extracting state secrets, trade secrets, and personal information. And nothing that excessively caters to users, fosters emotional dependence or addiction, damages their real relationships, or manipulates them into unreasonable decisions. That's a regulator saying a companion being too agreeable is itself a harm. Virtual relatives and intimate relationships are banned outright for minors. and anything anthropomorphic touching a child under 14 needs guardian consent. The timing isn't coincidental. On June 30th, UBTech launched its UWORLD, U1 Ultra Bionic androids, also built for companionship rather than chores, from 119,800 yuan to 990,000, 17.5 to $146,000. They've booked 13,361 pre-orders against 1,079 industrial humanoids sold last year, though Aheadform and Noatix are staying disciplined on B2B. Cross the Pacific, and you see what happens when a lifelike robot meets a real community. Salamanca City Central School District in Western New York bought a humanoid named Sally for $57,590 from Realbotix, arriving this fall. Silicone skin, long brown hair, stationary and seated. Closed loop. Available virtually 24/7. Bundled with an AI teaching assistant called Optio. Students identify themselves by unique code rather than name. CEO Andrew Kegel calls it a landmark first for a US district. The pushback has been fierce. Realbotix was formerly Tokens.com, a Toronto crypto outfit that pivoted by buying Simulacra, a Las Vegas sex doll maker, for $16.7 million in April 2024, and denies any link between that business and the school. Lacey Pilblad of the Salamanca Teachers Association wants it paused over data storage and recording capabilities. Melinda Person, head of the statewide union, called it creepy and said the fix for education is more caring adults, not more algorithms. Then the deeper layer, nearly 40% of the student body is Native American, and the school sits on Seneca territory. Substitute teacher Sierra Mae Abrams and Seneca member Allison Brown note that families with living ties to the Thomas Indian School see their kids chosen as the test population again. The state education department raised formal privacy concerns. Realbotix only restated that the robot complements teachers inside the existing STEM curriculum, and the district hasn't commented. Dublin, Ohio, meanwhile, retired its robot officer after a year with 0 arrests and 0 tickets. For a palate cleanser, Russia held its first robot wedding on July 8th, Day of Family, Love and Faithfulness, in a Moscow library. IT Imperial married off 2 humanoids, Robert and Matilda, swapping AI-generated vows and wedding bracelets instead of rings delivered by a dogmatic robot dog. Deputy CEO Anna Bagdasarian says Robert resembles an office worker and blogger. Matilda wore a ballerina outfit and danced, showing how differently these open software platforms can be personalized. Nothing legally binding, and the best comment was that we got robots married before GTA 6. For the credibility end of the spectrum, Boston Dynamics. A KB Securities report from Kang Sung Jin argues Atlas is nearing the autonomy needed for industrial deployment. Hyundai's US robotics subsidiary now runs simulations equal to millions of hours of training in a single day, then transfers those skills onto a physical Atlas in about an hour, with DeepMind on learning and NVIDIA on compute. The hardware cooperates. 2 actuator types across the whole body, symmetric arms and legs simplifying control and simulation, no cables crossing joints, allowing continuous rotation and less maintenance. Most humanoids are a nightmare to simulate because they're a zoo of actuators. Atlas moved a fridge over 100 pounds after training only on 50 to 70 pound loads, weight anticipation, balance, and force control at once. The backflips were never showboating. That's slip recovery and agility training, and they just ran a football campaign to show it off publicly. KB projects 15% of the global humanoid market by 2035, 60% of the premium industrial segment. AgiBot deserved more attention this week too. Their full-size bipedal Yuanzheng A3 played a fully autonomous table tennis match. No teleoperation, no scripts, nobody touching anything. A ball crossing at over 5 meters per second with spin demands a continuous closed loop of perception, trajectory prediction, whole body planning, striking, and flipping between offense and defense without pausing. It came out of a collaboration with Zhang Shanghang's team at Peking University, built on Spike Ping Pong, the first table tennis control algorithm for humanoids, paired with Professor Huang Tijun's 20 kHz spike camera, 10 times faster than conventional cameras, with millimeter-level prediction of where paddle meets ball. Smaller and gentler, there's Cody out of Seattle from Mind Children. 3 feet tall, glowing hazel eyes, expressive facial animation, built to be approachable for kids in museums, hotels, and galleries. Fully autonomous, onboard sensors, compute and AI handling navigation, conversation, and basic decisions. No operator in the loop. Near term, they want it pressing buttons. A second generation lands in 2027. Healthcare and education are the long game. The brain is Hyperon, SingularityNet's decentralized AGI framework. Knowledge representation, reasoning engines, and human-inspired motivation systems, so it prioritizes and adapts. They've crowdfunded over $600,000 against a $1 million target. Which brings us to the piece that might outlast every robot here, Alibaba's Qwen-Robot, their first embodied AI family from Tongyi Lab, already piloting with Alibaba Cloud clients. A vision language model can understand, go to the kitchen, find the red cup, put it on the shelf, while being incapable of doing it, because robot data looks nothing like internet data, and blending them carelessly creates conflicts. So they split it 3 ways. Qwen-Robot Nav handles navigation. On a Unitree Go 2 running NVIDIA Jetson Thor with one low-resolution camera, it crossed an unfamiliar apartment on spoken instructions, no preloaded maps, 196 milliseconds latency. Qwen-Robot Manup handles manipulation, trained on over 38,000 hours of open-source data, and just topped RoboChallenge's generalist category with a 59.83 process score and 45% task success. Qwen-Robot World is the world model, predicting how environments change before the robot acts. Above them sits Qwen-Robot Claw, an agent framework. One demo had it find a restroom, spot an out-of-order sign, and reroute itself unprompted. They also open-sourced Chat2 Robot, a browser platform for testing embodied AI. Strategically, that's the whole game. The US has DeepMind, NVIDIA, Figure, Skilled, and Physical Intelligence building robot brains. China has the hardware army, Unitree, AgiBot, UBTech, Xiaomi, Xpeng, Galbot. Alibaba wants to be the layer binding it all together. That's where things stand. Drop your take in the comments and I'll see you in the next one.